I taught how to get good socially for many, many years. You want to learn, you want 20 years of knowledge in the next minute or two? Here's what it is. Have good eye contact, body language, and vocal tonality. You could work on that in a couple minutes. You get that in a couple minutes. If you decide right now, you probably won't, but if you did, be a positive, outgoing person. Be a happy, vibrant person. Walk up and meet a lot of people. Don't be weird, don't be defensive, just be chill. Entertain yourself with them to get them a little sense of who it is that you are, so they're enjoying themselves. Tease a little bit, so there's a little bit of a validation chase, and offer them somewhere better to go. For people who can go right then and there, they'll go with you. You have an amazing night, an adventure that is win-win. For people who can't meet up with you, have a cool little social media ready. Poof, you're off to the races. Boom, 20 years in 2 seconds. Out of all the things that you could focus on, I'm not good looking enough. I'm not rich enough. I can't meet anybody. I don't know what to say. I can't do this. What do I do? It's too hard. Is it even real? The millions of things that you could focus on, this huge range of things that you could focus on. Just focus on like 5 or 10 things. But you don't want to. You've been given everything. You've been given the knowledge, but you won't take it. And you'll see in the community of people that are studying how to get better socially, there's some people where their typical conversation is like, hey, what club do we want to go to? What party do we want to go to? You know, who should I date tonight? I don't know who. Who should I call back? I don't know who. That's the conversation. Should we fly down to some cool place and go have fun? Other people's conversations. You have to have facial plastic surgery. You have to cut your legs like in Gattaca to get taller. It's impossible. It could never be done. It's all a path of false hope. Sitting there, hiding from their potential. Anything to just hide. It's the same thing with making money. You pick something that you like doing that you know there's a market for. You could look that up. There's many places to look that up. And you enjoy the process of doing it. You do it more and more. And what happens? You get to be good at it. You learn a little bit of sales and marketing. You learn that 2-3 days. And boom, you're off to the races, you're getting paid. Wash, rinse, repeat, life is just gonna be awesome. You could do the exact same thing. But instead what you do is you sit there, working some crappy job, miserable, making your life so difficult. It is a hell of your own making. In this video, what I'm gonna talk about is actually how it can be made easy. How could success be incredibly easy? And the fundamental principle of it will just be opportunity cost. Look, God provided you with the tools that you need to have the willpower to get things done that you need to do. You're not short of willpower. God provided you with the brains, the energy, the willpower, the know-how. But if you're gonna worship all of these golden calves and you're gonna crap talk and gossip and complain and be a victim and then get distracted and look at dumb stuff and put crap in your body and just kind of just do this. If you're just gonna kind of do this, like, oh, gossip, crap talk, nonsense, self-pity, victim, can't do it. And then I'm like, hey, let's walk over here. You're like, it can't be done. You can't walk around. And it's like, yo, just stop. Stop. How do you walk? You just walk, right? So like this is easier than this. Right? This is harder. There's really only a few things that work. There's not, they call it the narrow road for a reason, right? Like, many are the ways that lead to death and destruction, okay? The narrow road is very, very narrow. There's like 5 things that you need to do in any area. Now, the big joke of it is like 99% of people watch this. Like, what's the 5 things? Like, you already even know what they are. Like, no, I don't. It's too abstract. Like, no, it's not. I'm trying to teach you to think for yourself here. You know what the 5 or 10 things in any important area of your life are, and you know you're not doing them. You know that you're not. And what you've got to realize is this is you throwing a frickin' temper tantrum. This is you just saying, no, I'm not going home, Daddy. I'm not going home, Mommy. I'm staying here. I'm a bad boy. I'm a bad girl. That's really what you're doing. Okay, success is obvious. All that you would have to do is stop resonating with all this gossip, crap talking, and insulting people behind their back, complaining, victimization, shoving horrific things in your body that give you cancer and rot your brain like Swiss cheese. Wasted time, wasted diversion, and not the ones that give you active recovery, just complete utter waste. Doing things that you just straight know are dumb. All of these things and many more, okay, not having boundaries, being around people that you know are gonna drag you down, being around things that you know are gonna drag you down, all of these things, you already know they're wrong. You already know. I can make video after video telling you this. You know that it's wrong. And so you can play all these stories with yourself. Well, I'm going to do what I want then. I'm going to do what I want. I'm a grown-up. I'm a big boy. I'm a big girl. I'm going to do what I want. Right? You can do that if you want. But what is it that you're worshiping at that point? You're worshiping death. You're worshiping a sick, twisted system that is basically just built to put you into a walking stupor, make you asleep, disconnect you from your higher power, and then basically take your birthright from you, your natural joy, your natural energy, your natural focus, your natural expansion, your natural evolution, your natural competence that you have, and it takes it away from you, and then it sells it back to you. That's really what's happening. And so at a certain level, here's what I need you to start doing. I need you to start going into situations and first watch other people. And really you should be doing this in yourself. You shouldn't do it as much towards other people as yourself, but it's usually too hard to do it yourself. You have too many rationalizations around. So initially it's easier to see it around other people. Later you're going to do it on yourself. It's even more important actually. And what I want you to do is I want you to look at people having a conversation. And I want you to keep asking yourself that question of what else? Just simply say to yourself, what else? What else could they be talking about right now? So let's say that they're looking at, celebrity gossip or eating some garbage or whatever, right? I mean, why don't we just break it down a couple of different categories? Let's say they're putting garbage in their body. What else could they be eating? Are there examples of incredibly tasty foods that would give them a pile of energy, boost their health, boost their vitality, especially in these times? Are there examples of that could taste just as good? Of course. They're choosing not to do that. They haven't asked the what else. And they've never really done a real audit of, really what it's costing them, right? Like really the degree to which it's putting them asleep, keeping them asleep. Okay, so they're keeping themselves willfully in a stupor with that food. Look at people that are, say, bonding by talking crap. Look at how they're doing that. And ask yourself a simple question. First question would be, is it that bad? No, it's not really that bad. Is it kind of funny? Yeah, it is kind of funny, right? Of course it's funny. But the problem with it isn't that it's not funny. It could be funny. It's the same thing as if you just go eat a bunch of fried food. It's not that it's that bad. It could be funny. It's that at a certain point, it's the opportunity cost of what else that you could be doing. So the same people who are basically trashing somebody, on the surface, it looks like they're just having a bit of fun. It looks like that, right? And I'm not trying to be moralistic here. I'm asking you honestly what you think. It's not that it's a big problem or that it can't be funny or maybe even enlightening. Maybe it could even show you, maybe even learn the truth about something, right? But the problem with it is, again, it's that opportunity cost. And so what starts to happen is that it's a burning of opportunity costs. What could they be doing instead? One thing they could be doing is talking about their expansion, their growth, real knowledge. They could be looking, let me give some simple examples. They could be looking at a Muhammad Ali fight, like the average person never watched like the classic George Foreman versus Muhammad Ali fight. The average person has probably not read the world's greatest literature as another example. They didn't do that. The average person probably has never traveled to anywhere, to a high percentage of the beautiful places in the world. And they could be doing that. You could also just frankly be going out and socializing and meeting somebody, having a really amazing intimate experience with somebody that's totally wild. You could be going and doing that. You could be working on making cash. You could be working on donating to a charity. Like there's so many things that you could be doing that would be expanding you, that would be stretching you, that would be evolving you, that would be waking you up, and they're well known to you, but you're choosing not to do them. You'll see this to where, look, here even, I'm in the Bissi Badlands right now. We shot over the Bissi Badlands. Sun's gonna go down soon. We're gonna probably go to Santa Fe tonight. And most people who live, say, in Farmington have never been to I think it's a Bissi or Bissi Badlands. They've never been here. And this is something that could expand them by coming out here. It's like a psychedelic odyssey being out here, but they're choosing not to do that. They're choosing to stay contained. They've probably never been to Chaco Canyon, the place that we went earlier today as well. They've never been to almost any of this stuff. And the reason why is because that would expand them. They're hiding from it. So, I've even been to islands like not to drag on this point, but I've been to islands like Molokai in Hawaii, where there's like 5,000 people there, and there's like very, very little to do in the cities. There's only 5,000 people. This is not like you're in New York here. It's not like this urban metropolis with like the best art galleries in the world. Like the Molokai city, there's not a ton going on. But they do happen to have the best sea cliffs in the entire world. Right? And they also have a phallic rock, as a side note, that is super epic. But anyway, so you ask them, have you ever been to the biggest sea cliffs in the world that people fly in from around the world to see? No, they haven't. because they're hiding from God. They're hiding from those things that would be beautiful. They'd rather stay there probably complaining about each other, or, sitting there looking at pop culture, or taking drugs, or putting garbage in their mouths, or putting garbage in their minds, than to go see the greatest sea cliffs in the world. You see what's going on here? It's a very common thing in small towns, right? We often think of small towns as cute places, and I think they definitely can be. But a lot of the time, it's also people that were so stuck in that, what I was jokingly calling satanic entertainment system, that they're largely stuck in being numb in many cases. And it's actually quite a sad thing to see, that they're stuck in there. So what I want you to do is I want you to look at other people, and I want you to watch their behavior, and then just keep asking yourself again and again, what else, what else, what else, what else, what else? So ask yourself, what else could this situation be? Like, what could they make out of this moment? Like, even just moment to moment, right? Take out, going to the Bistai Badland, take all that out. That's extreme case, what we're doing here. How about just the moment of shaking somebody's hand? The moment of looking at somebody's in the eye? The moment of really being present with other people that maybe that you don't know or that you couldn't get anything from. The moment of connecting with them. The moment of getting them to laugh. The moment of seeing somebody crossing the street that maybe needs a little bit of help and helping them, and how that would make you feel and what that would connect you to, and not having a virtue signal about it, but that's between you and God. The moment of you calling your mother, your father, your children, your family, your siblings, calling a best friend. What could you be doing just in a moment to moment? How about just walking to your car from the office? Moment to moment, how much could you be taking that in as a rare moment of your life? So at a small level, you could ask yourself, what could be better about this? What could be better? Ask yourself that question for anything small, but also ask yourself that in anything big, anything that you're doing a lot. Likewise, ask yourself, what am I missing? What's the opportunity here that I'm not seeing? So first say, what else? What else is, could be better about this? Another thing though is, what's something I'm not even seeing at all? What is something that's not even in my paradigm of reality right now? I'm sitting here maybe working a regular job. What are some skills that I have that I'm not, with the time that I'm using this regular job, what are some skills that I've never even heard of? Is there this thing that I could learn about called direct marketing, to where I could take a skill that I have, multiply that by 1,000x, later learn about things like systems building, this other thing that I haven't heard of, and then go do that? Oh, maybe I'm in a bad relationship and I could learn about this thing called social dynamics, and then I could go study how to have an incredible social and dating life, and then I could proceed to have the most wild, crazy dating life ever, and then go to get the most incredible partner, and everybody would be envious of me, and my life would be unbelievable, right? What's that, what are other things you haven't seen? What's that city or place you've never heard of? Right? Oh, what's that weird Aztec ruins thing right in my own country for many people watching this, or maybe in some other country you want to come to, that I could go see that and actually have my reality expanded? Wow, I could look at the Colorado, the Mesa Verde, so what it's called, Mesa Verde. We could look at, maybe I could go find out about Mesa Verde in Colorado, and I could go see where Aztec native populations lived and really get a window into a different time, almost like a time machine. Is it really worth it to sit there eating a bunch of crap, frying your brain, talking garbage, looking at pop culture, if you can't even go see a beautiful portal into the past and experience that? But of course, when you're hiding from God, you won't do that, because it would expand your mind. And so what happens is that if you would just allow yourself to merge into the moment, if you'd allow yourself to do that, what would wind up happening is you become very, very present and calm. And you'd find that in reality, most things are largely easy. You'd find that in reality, there's 1,000 different options and areas that your attention span is being pulled by what I jokingly call the satanic entertainment system. But in reality, the road to success is very narrow. And if all that you did was you reclaimed all of that mental bandwidth, if you just reclaimed all of it, if you just said to yourself, if you did an audit, how much time am I spending thinking about negative things that are not helping me, things that are not expanding me, evolving me, empowering me? How much time am I spending thinking about that? How much time am I spending thinking about other people's approval of me? How much time am I spending thinking about what I didn't get? How much time am I spending numbing myself with drugs and alcohol? How much time am I spending numbing myself with fast food and things that are hurting me? How many years of my life am I giving up by not putting good food in my body? How much of my greater connection to God am I giving up by not understanding the depths of my soul, by not knowing who I am, by not understanding what's going on this earth? Think about everything that you're missing. Largely what I'm going to tell you is that, like I said earlier in this video, just to be repetitive, to learn social skills, it's like 5 things. It's like 5 things. What's the things? It's like 5 things. Your problem is you can't buy into those 5 things because you're not ready to resonate with it yet. You're not, I'll tell you, go out to a venue, begin to meet people. Don't worry about your anxiety, just power through it, okay? The glory on the other side of that anxiety is too great to ignore. Power through it. Put a smile on your face. Have good eye contact, good vocal tone, good body language. Put yourself out there. Share your personality authentically. Enjoy yourself, laugh, have fun. Tease a little bit so there's a little bit of a validation chemistry dynamic going on. Invite people somewhere cool to go. Think that through. Have a good social media so that you can follow up with people, not just with text message, okay? Future, if you're watching this, maybe there's even better versions of that with 3D or virtual reality, whatever it is. Just go sort that stuff out. Have a cool place to go to back at your crib. Go, it's a tiny, okay, I said 5, it's exaggeration. What is it, 12? It's 12 things. You could have this sorted out by the end of the weekend, but you choose instead death. You choose the satanic entertainment system of you walking there and having anxiety and not engaging and not approaching and being miserable and saying you're not good enough and saying it's too scary and saying that you suck and saying that you don't want to build your social media because you're super special and you shouldn't have to because you read Deep Work or something like that, but you don't realize that you can create it, not consume it. Right? I love that book. It's every reason not to. Every reason not to. Because you resonate with your death. You resonate with being asleep. You resonate with being numb. It's too beautiful. The outcome of you learning social skills is too beautiful. It's too powerful. It's too amazing, and you don't want it. It's like I said at the beginning of this. It's like God says to you, I gave you everything, and you threw it away to go become some crybaby. Maybe you want communism. Maybe you just want to just eat a bunch of garbage, smoke a bunch of garbage, complain all day. Whatever it is, when you have everything that you need, right? And so I'm trying to bring a little bit of rage in you here to show you what it is that you've been giving up. There has to be a moment of clarity when you look, for example, at your job and you go, what am I doing? What am I doing? What's the payoff? Where is this taking me in 5 years from now? What is the payoff of this? Where is this going? What is the final outcome of these decisions that I'm making? Just say to yourself, what could my life look like? How awesome could it be? What are the steps that I already know to get there? If I don't have the exact steps, then what research could I do to get the steps? And then just execute on them. And you know what's going to happen? Your life's going to get so much easier. It's going to be so much more fun. It's going to be so beautiful. It's going to be so incredible. You have no idea how amazing it's going to be. Like, if you knew how amazing it's going to get right now, imagine having all that extra energy, all that extra vitality, all that extra mental bandwidth, all that extra focus, all that expansion, all that evolution, all that empowerment, all that money, all that gratitude from other people who you can help, expanding and moving up. Imagine that. But it depends ultimately what it is that you resonate with, right? You've got to make a decision. What is it that you ultimately resonate with? Your creator has made the steps very obvious, very clear if you've got even a shred of common sense. They're simple. So ask yourself again and again, is what I'm doing me generating my own resistance that I'll later have to overcome? Is what I'm doing and thinking putting me in a limited paradigm and in some weird flywheel effect that's making me more and more contracted to now where the only thing that can feel good are things that numb me? What is it doing? And continue to move yourself out of autopilot, out of being numb, into your own proactive control and having autonomy. And look, here's the final thing that I'll leave you with. As you do this, you are going to reclaim so much mental bandwidth. You are going to reclaim so much energy, so much focus, so much personal power, so much expansion. It's going to all come to you. It's going to come in waves because you're just willing to say, I don't resonate with that stuff anymore. And that's where the last video that we did here together, what we talked about was execution. And that was awesome, wasn't it? And we talked about how to power through all that inner resistance. But that was still within a paradigm that there's any resistance at all. And so what we've done here in this next video, this video here together, is that we've tried to lay a foundation to where you have so much energy that it's not hard anymore. It's not hard. So in conclusion of this video, it really just comes down to one thing. It's like we said, what else? Right? What else? What do you resonate with? Is it gratitude or pain? And your creator has given you so much. Your creator has literally made it a layup for you. But it's not about doing 10,000 wrong things that the system distracts you and confuses you and takes you away from greatness. It's about embracing your greatness and doing those few things that will allow you to embrace greatness. And by the way, final thought, you'll probably say, well, you know, a lot of people at levels of mastery understand complexity and this and that other thing. Sure, and that's beautiful too, and you can do that for fun. But you also understand that in anything, if you just do the things that really make that impact, that's what's going to deliver the results. So that thing in your mind always has to be, what is the real impact of this? Do I resonate with life or do I resonate with death? What is it that I really want? Do I just like it? Do I just like this? Or do I really want to expand? And what's going to happen is you're no longer going to resonate with other people that want to keep you at that level, right? Because what happens is that when you're at a lower level, everybody's kind of trying to keep you down with them, right? They're trying to hold you down in there with them. But and so they make these little fights with you, and you fight back and forth, and you're like a co-enabler, almost like co-drug addicts to stay in that zone. But those people will begin to fall by the wayside, and all those little things that you're doing to hold you down will fall by the wayside, and you'll move up into what's truly important, become this massive, massive executor. But you're not going to look tired like everybody else. You're going to be that person where everybody's like, how are you not tired? And you say, because all those things that you're worried about, I'm not worried about those things. I'm worried about what's important, and I'm moving up, and I'm expanding, and I'm evolving. I'm getting empowered, and I want to share that with you. So I love you very much. Thank you for being here with me today, and really, really excited to shoot the next video together.